Man, this is one morning where it just seemed that like things couldn't get any worse. I was My original plan was to come here at 9 after going to sleep at the latest around 2 something in the morning. Cuz I felt like that would give me enough hours of sleep to be, what's the way of putting it, not I'm not tired to where I just like fall over just, but you know, I, at least if I got that amount I would sort of what's the way of putting it, be mostly coherent. Um, so I tried to go to. I swear I closed my eyes, and I've seen this happen before, but this like one of the few times this year where this happened. I was laying down, and I just kept laying there and laying there. I wasn't touching anything. I wasn't trying to mess with some device. I just laid there and laid there, and after what felt like an eternity, I turned to my phone. I looked at the time. It said 4 something, and I just rolled my eyes and let out a big sigh because that was when I knew it was going to be one of those days where I tried to give myself some sleep, and it was either going to be not enough or none at all. So I'm very irritated, very tired, and just really annoyed because I tried to go to sleep earlier than early enough for me to get like a semblance of a full series of hours, and I just couldn't, no matter how hard I tried. Oh God. And someone over there is playing some loud music because that's all people over here know to do. I mentioned I'm getting really close to just being done streaming from the car. I'm tired of it because every time I come up here, it's hard finding the parking spot, or all the spots that are good were taken early in the morning. And if I come up here early in the morning, people will say that's the reason they can't watch it. It's such a hassle to do anything at this point. I'm really not even saying it to joke. Like it's just the amount of stuff you have to do to even be able to stream is really insane. And it used to be to where on Monday I could do it from the place, but this person is there all day and they don't wake up until the afternoon. So you can do the math on that one. But yeah, I'm just kind of out of it on this one. No, I had this new idea for a video. I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not because I really did think it was gonna be one of those instances where I come up with an idea and I'm just on fire and I'm writing so much stuff, but it's actually kind of harder to write than I thought it would be. The general idea behind it is that when people say they're alone, you might think they're crazy because they live with somebody else, they go to work where they see all these different people, and maybe they smile at them, talk to them, whatever. But that a lot of times interactions that people have nowadays, and arguably it's been this way for a long time, just like the mandatory interactions you have when you work somewhere, when you go to you want some service done or whatever. But in terms of people that you feel close to, that you actually want to do things with, you'd be surprised by how you can live with multiple people. That's another one of my alarms. I was trying to make sure I didn't end up sleeping even later. But it's just interesting how you can realistically be around multiple and loads of different people and still not necessarily have someone that you're close to. And I also talked about how one of the aspects I found so much evidence of is that because we live in this digital age, some people are more inclined to sit there and quote unquote spend time with someone that they don't even know over the computer or phone or whatever than they are someone that lives with them. Which I don't think is always a bad thing, because sometimes as has been the case with me, you might live with someone that you really don't want to do anything with. But I just think it's sad that like people just things are as not as simple as they make it seem. God, every day somebody comes up here playing music, blasting. Like it's just a foregone conclusion when I come up here, somebody's gonna be playing some music. Well, except if I come up here really early, then nobody plays anything. I'm just glad I got one of the decent spots this time. Because normally they have it to where these one of the spots I'm sitting in right now, it's usually taken up with somebody else, and they will sit in those same exact spots all morning, like from when I park 8, 9 o'clock up until what do you call it? Until someone until I leave, which is like 11, 12. You'll see the same cars parked in the same spots. If I really had nothing better to do, I would be tempted to just sit up here one day and just see which cars move and which ones don't. Oh, great. Well, hopefully they get out. Oh, there's a passenger. Damn it. Yeah, things can't get any less obnoxious. The car that parks next to me would be a full house. The weather must not be get must be getting better over here. I mean, I just rolled the window up with no air conditioner in sight, and it doesn't feel like it's warm, but it's not the like, oh, I am sweating from every ounce of my body, that type of heat. Like I said, that was one of the reasons I like the morning stuff, because it just wasn't warm, and it was nice to not feel like I was boiling. Okay, great, they left. I was just thinking to myself, why they have to park next to me? There's so many other spots. Hell, that whole road now is without any cars, so they could have parked over there. I guess they wanted to feel comfortable being parked next to a responsible driver like yours truly. Well, at least if they're here, they don't have to worry about anybody else coming up. So that's one good thing that came out of this. Oh man. Yeah, this Barbie craze has been real fun to watch. I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday, crossed 1 billion, and it's real comedic that you have such a strong vitriol, mostly from men, about a movie that was meant for women. about a toy that was meant for women. Like I said, I've seen many of these channels before, and it's like they have a set series of talking points to where almost every video of theirs is the same thing. But it's really comedic that they took the woke narrative, which is this idea that male dominated series and franchises are being invaded by the ideology, the like toxic ideology of women, which because they use this for Marvel and Star Wars in particular, and they're now trying to slap it onto a movie about a doll for girls. I just man, their audience. Like I said, if I had no principles, I would be so tempted to just make a channel just bashing every new film that comes out as woke and pushing the message and all this other nonsense. Because you really don't even have to have great arguments. You don't have to have some great speaking voice. All you have to do is just sit there, and anytime a new movie comes out within the first 24 to 48 hours of its release, talk about how bad it was, how the women ruled everything, how this is the message that they have, and it's blah 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 blah. Ugh. All it takes. I'm tired of the message. No, watching them react the way they do is funny. Just like in isolation, it's it's amusing, I guess, for a lot of those people that just don't want to see the movie. Because I said before, most of the people watching these stupid reviews are not. A lot of them don't even watch the movie. Like I remember, um, before last week, I hadn't seen Ant-Man 3, and this guy made a review back in whatever month that movie came out. It was earlier this year, bashing Ant-Man 3, and I watched the review, and I watched. They had like some you know live stream they did with their little friends or whatever, and I didn't see the movie for months. I eventually did end up seeing it, but it's like a lot of people that watch that stuff don't actually watch the film it's based off. Um, which I mean, I do have a problem with to an extent. I mean, not as far as like I would try to like argue with somebody, but I do think there is something wrong with believing a movie is bad that you haven't even seen. And this isn't the first time I've seen people do that. In fact, I've actually seen a lot of channels where they'll all basically review bomb a movie in the sense of they'll all say like bad things about it, and then people who will admit to you that they've never seen the movie will then form a bad opinion of it based off of the clips or the information that's espoused to them by the person watching their channel. It's a really sick cycle because basically it means that my opinion on something does not come from my own personal experiences with like, hey, I watched this, didn't like it. I watched, I liked it. It's just me regurgitating whatever my favorite reviewer has to say, or whatever most of the reviewers have to say, which is really sad because again, it's like the point of these channels is whether you like them or not, they're supposed to give analysis of what's right and wrong about a particular movie and sometimes shows. They review those too. But what's the point of watching them if you're going to use them as the basis to form an opinion on something? So I said that whole thing is just so sad. Just people have gotten too lazy. I remember I used to say I used to like think it was sad that people um wouldn't read comics to know what they were talking about when we would have these discussions on like Marvel and DC and all these other little, offshoot brands like IDW. But it's even sadder when you consider that a lot of people can't even be bothered to watch something, like to watch a movie, a show. Instead, they'll go to some channel, the channel will say it's good or bad, and then they'll use that as the basis to have their opinion of it. So this really is an era that has brought out the worst in people. I do think that when it comes to criticism and the way they react to stuff, and all it just comes down to is there is a profit to be made from outrage, and people have latched onto it for a quick payday. I mean, let's not forget Shapiro said that he was dragged to see Barbie, but then he ends up making some 40+ minute long review of it and gets, I think it was 2 million views, probably 3 million at this point. I wouldn't be surprised. Which is roughly half of all his subscribers to watch him. And it's like, a guy who does that knows that whether he liked the movie or not, it's not popular among his right wing circle. So if he makes a video using his already high name recognition, it's going to be just this big payday for him. Like I said, I'm glad it made 1 billion. I thought it was a fun time. Um, God, I'm thinking it really could end up being the highest grossing movie of the year. Oh, Envoy, part of me almost wishes you hadn't shown up. I'm so tired today because I tried to, I tried to go sleep at 2 to then wake up at 9 for the stream or to get up around that time, and then I ended up staying up till 5 because I just couldn't go to sleep. No, I'm saying that in the original days of classic cinema, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even as like late as the early 2000s, when someone was paid to review movies by a newspaper, by whatever organization they were with, they would give you their honest assessment, and it wouldn't matter if they liked it or disliked it. They were getting paid one way or the other to go and see it and give their opinion on it. But because of YouTube's whole system being dominated by views, right? The higher number of views you get, the more you get paid. And a general group of people who are outraged anytime some new movie comes out, this has incentivized a new generation of supposed film critics to preemptively have a problem with pretty much any blockbuster that's released. No, I'm saying the way to run an outrage channel is a movie's trailer will come out and you'll sit there and make a video about it. You'll do your little trailer reaction video. Then before the movie comes out, there will be some test screenings like, oh, people are saying this about it. Ugh. Then after the movie comes out, you'll do your review of it where you'll, bash it, talk trash about for at least 10 minutes so you can play as many ads as possible. Then after that, you may end up doing a 2-3 hour live stream with several other people who all share the same exact opinion. I'm serious. I can name at least 5 channels where, whether it was, God, we basically any new superhero related thing that comes out, they say is bad and is pushing this and whatever. And I'm really tired of it. Because like I said, I know it's not about an actual legitimate opinion of theirs. It's just them trying to squeeze some money out of all the angry people on this site. Yeah, I see what you mean. The purity of critique for the sake of actually being impartial seems to have gone by the wayside. The opinions are just fueled by money. And that's why I was saying that I wish classical critics, because even somewhere like IGN, for example, when they review games, if they're given a free game, it might influence their opinion, whatever. Because there is like the whole thing of wanting access. But I swear, a lot of these channels, before a movie is even released, they've done multiple videos about how bad it's going to be. Then when it comes out, they do multiple videos about how bad it is, or they do at least one video and then possibly a stream with their friend. And every time they get together for these big Avengers style crossover streams where everybody's split, 5 or 6 people, they all share the exact same opinion on pretty much everything relating to the movie anyway. So it's like, what's the point of watching multiple people talk about this film if they're all just nodding their head and agreeing with each other? That's why I said it's not. This isn't about good film criticism or whether something is decent in its own right. They're just trying to make money. For one of these days, if you want to get on the griff, just make a new account. Call it I don't know, enjoying Envoy or AJ's after party or something. And then what you'll do is you'll go, and every time there's a new blockbuster film before it even comes out, I just saw the trailer. This looked woke. This looks like it's SJW. Uh, ugh. And then after the movie comes out, within the first 24 hours of the movie being released, you talk trash about it and how it doesn't make any sense. Too many women. Blah, 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 whatever. And then after that comes out, you go and you find 2 or 3 other people to do a live stream with you where you all do a circle jerk and just nod your head like like bobbleheads for an hour or 2 hours. That's all you have to do. The next movie they're going to be outraged over is the Marvels. I really don't like Brie Larson at all. So guess what? I'm not going to see it. But they don't like her either. However, since they're trying to squeeze out as many pennies of the Marvel bank as they can, they're going to see it anyway. And really, that's the other part that drives me crazy. Like, it used to be that when a movie wasn't good, if they make a sequel to it, you don't watch it because the first one was bad, so there's no reason to believe the second one will be better. Um, but because again, the internet pays people to go and do crazy stuff like watch sequels to movies that they hate, expecting, I guess, for it to not be as bad, even though they do know it's going to be as bad, which is why they go and watch it in the first place. They'll go and check this stuff out. I think there is valid criticism with having superhero fatigue. Feels like content is just being churned out by Marvel for the sake of it. Yeah, but these people are not like. What I'm getting at is you can go back to the beginning of the MCU, you can go back to the start of the DCEU, and you can find people individually online who had problems with, Captain America, Thor, like most of the individual films, right? But it's not about the quality of the stories anymore. It's about trying to present this idea that somehow women have taken over these male dominated genres or franchises or whatever, and getting the people who like this stuff as a kid or liked it in the past to now despise it, so you can keep churning out more money from their outrage over the state of this current stuff. Just like I heard about Secret Invasion, um, and I had no desire to watch it, not because these awful women, no, because it's a story that has a title of a comic that I really liked, where it's basically who's a scroll and it's all these different superheroes, and it doesn't even use any superheroes. So my interest in it, is basically non-existent. Um, but I don't. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that if only they had had less women, just it's stupid. That's what I'm saying. I'm not suggesting there aren't valid criticisms of these films. I'm just saying that in the current era, it's very profitable to speak ill of them because there's a built-in audience who wants to see this stuff fail, and a bunch of people who need to see it fail to keep making a profit off of the outrage of those that were already against it before it even came out. They had all those people I remember talking about they were boycotting Black Panther 2. And in the movie, man, I think it was 800 million. And what it is that people say one thing, but then they do something completely different. Uh, but then after it made 800 million, people on YouTube with a straight face will say, Black Panther 2 flopped. Black Panther 2 flopped. It did not perform well at the box. And I'm just sitting there like, guys, in what world can a movie make $800 million on a budget of what 200 million, and that's a flop? That's a fail. Man, I'm telling you, I wish I could fail with the sixth highest grossing movie of the year. I can't wait to see Envoy flop. He's only going to make 800 million, and that's it. The other part of it is, even if you could say there's superhero fatigue, it's like, okay, what the hell are these people doing about it? Because let's be very clear. In a hypothetical scenario, I guess I'll put it this way: the idea of fatigue is that it's supposed to be this thing where you just feel like tired of it, you're sick of it, right? But these people, because they've built their channels off of this, are going to be discussing and watching new Marvel content until there's no new Marvel content. So basically, Marvel could end up losing a bunch of money and still churning out stuff every year, and these people are going to watch it anyway because their livelihood is staked on hating on this series, and they can't hate on the new stuff if they don't watch it. But that's why I said that I don't see anywhere this little like money game of theirs can go that is sincere, that like actually has a purpose, and it progresses in some natural way. Because on what planet would someone keep watching movies from a series that they don't like or that they hate? The one where people are able to make money off of that hatred. So, there's their financial incentive, but there's really no solution they can present to people that are, giving them their livelihood. It's like, oh, Marvel's new stuff is not good. I'm going to make 15 videos on why Marvel's new stuff from this year isn't good. And then what? I'll give you an example of one channel that's really getting on my nerves. I'm not going to say their name because, why bother? But they made a video and it was called "The Barbie Movie is Trash." I was like, oh man, that's a strong title. They got their little 90,000 views, and they talked about how bad it was, etc., etc. Then today they put up a new video: is Barbie good or just trendy? And I'm like, wait a second, you already said in the video now, and like I just want you to think about this. They said in the video that of course came out right after the movie did, to squeeze out the most revenue. They said in the video when the movie came out that the movie was not good, right? Even put it in the title. They made a stream talking about the movie as well and how not good it was too. But after doing that hour plus long stream and after doing that video and getting roughly 100,000 views altogether, they decide to make another video about it because they see that people are still talking about the movie 2 weeks later and that they can squeeze out some more pennies. Because I looked at it, I said, wait a second, this guy made a review of this movie, said it wasn't good, which is his opinion, whatever. But then he also made a stream talking about how the movie wasn't good with other people, because that's why I said it's a circle jerk. They all just sit there and nod their heads in agreement with each other. But then after making the stream where they all agree the movie's not good, he then turns around and makes a video announcing it's not another video that is basically that's like posing the question of whether it's actually good or just something that people are trending with. Which, by the way, I mean, anytime you have something popular, there's going to be people that jump on the bandwagon. I mean, that's just the reality. No, I'm just tired of outrage culture because it leads to stuff like this where people just sit back and they're wondering about whether something is good or not, or rather they know they don't like it, but they're going to keep talking about it so they can squeeze out as many pennies as possible from the people that, if they don't like it, a lot of them haven't even seen the movie. Like I've seen comments in the comment section, I'm glad I'm skipping this. It's like, if you're okay, but why are you watching videos about it? No, the only movie that was a flop that they called out for being a flop rightfully was Ant-Man 3. And that was a really big deal. The fact that movie didn't perform that great, because that was the one that was supposed to close out this trilogy, one of the few like last remaining Marvel characters from the from like, what was that, phase 2, phase 3. Um but also introduced the new main antagonist and pretty much set up the story for the rest of I guess phase 4 and 5 and 6 and whatever. Or I guess 5 and 6, I should say. So that movie really was a flop. It's kind of funny. Everybody was like, "Oh, Jonathan Majors did such a great job," and now after the thing with that woman happened, they're trying to like distance themselves from him. So just don't say his name. Just don't talk about him. No, I did. I had no desire to go and see that in theaters because it just didn't look like something that was mandatory. Like, yeah, to introduce a new main villain, whatever. But I've never really been into Ant-Man like that. I just think it was such a weird choice to have the new main villain of your series show up in a movie where he has to fight one of the like lesser known C D tier Avengers. Hello? The hell? I'm so tired of these stupid spam calls. They always try to make you so afraid. Someone is ordering this. Like, no, they're not. That's one of the worst parts about those, like answering a lot of these calls where it's just a robot talking to you. Someone has clicked this. No, they didn't. Very, very annoying. But yeah, like I was saying, it's just really sad that we live in the digital age and how sites like YouTube and to lesser extents Twitter and many of these other ones, but YouTube most especially, have incentivized people to basically exist as a toxic waste as far as they're just here to tell you how bad everything is. And like I said, if it were truly bad, I don't know why they keep watching. Oh wait, I do know why, because they want some coins. And it's the same thing every time a new movie comes out. But before the movie even comes out, they have a trailer reaction video where they talk about how bad the trailer looks, too much CGI, acting's not great, whatever. Then some of them will put up videos before the movie even comes out, going over the plot of it as leaked by people who've seen it in early screenings. Then 24 hours after movies out, here comes the review. It's usually the same old stuff. Oh, its message is woke and da da da. And then a new movie will come out and it'll do the exact same thing. And this just goes on and on and on and on. And the sad part is people really look at these guys and think they're legitimate movie critics. Like they'll sit there and listen to them and talk to them, not talk to them, but like listen and speak to them as if they are legitimate movie critics. Like they're saying something profound, something we've never heard before, something that actually address. I mean, it's sad that's like those are the people that you know we as a collective go to hear from. Like there are some of the reviewers I'm not a big fan of because I do think most of their stuff is lazy. They sit in front of a camera and have a few jump cuts and that's it. Then they talk, and when they talk about a film, they don't really go into too many details of it. It's just sort of, just like really glossed over. Um, but be that as it may, I would rather watch those very watered down videos than a lot of this, because at least with them, they're vague enough to where you can still feel like they're trying to be an official reviewer. A lot of these other people, they do this whole like anti the system position thing, and it doesn't even work because they're going to keep on supporting the system by giving their movies free advertising, which they do so they themselves can get paid for the outrage of the people who are claiming that this stuff isn't good but can't help but watch it and talk about it nonetheless. It's just sad. Hmm. So this site, as much as I have my problems with it, and trust me, I have a lot of issues with it, I can say, you know what? The one thing YouTube will always have is a penchant for people who were able to take something, maybe something that wasn't that big of a deal, something that in a broader context is not some huge giant scandal, and just blow it up to an extreme amount of degree so that they can squeeze them out the most money. I'll always give YouTube credit for that. It's the one website you can go to where somebody could make, I don't know, the walls in their house being painted a different color seem like it's this big national scandal. They are using women to take over this. Like, what are you even talking about, man? the Barbie movie hates men. I didn't feel hated. God, I can feel it setting in. Just sad. Like I do find parts of it funny. I really do. Like the whole thing of, rinse and repeat. But I don't know. I just found it interesting how they took the same arguments that they apply to superhero stuff and put it on a movie about a doll for girls. Did you let's stay with him? I did not hear about this Ripper. I'll go and look immediately. Gives people more reason to not help anyone in this country. Well, they already weren't helping anybody. I mean, you know, you'll be surprised. You can't. A lot of times, you can't even get somebody to, I don't know, give you a tip if you're performing on the street for them. Unfortunately, I will have to ban Ripper for interrupting my main topic of the YouTube grift to talk about Taco Bell. So this will be your last stream, unfortunately. And when you get banned, I'll say, "I will remember you." Did I even get the restaurant right? What's the proper word to type in? Uh, oh, that's why I didn't see it. So it was on the local news. Yeah, because I was thinking that, this was this a major story? They covered it locally. Hmm. Yeah, the guy that was killed was 27. The suspect, or I guess the murderer, was 24. I didn't see a picture of the guy that was killed. I saw one of the suspect. I mean, yeah, they do that where every time you get one of these homicides and it's between different ethnic groups, here comes all the commentators who spice it up because they want their moment in the sun too. That's why I said all the stuff they do to get squeeze some coins out of people so sad to me. Mm. Hey, why are you trying to say his name? Are you gonna promote him and go sub to his channel instead, so he can tell you how to be an ungrateful piece of crap? So why'd you write his name? Are you trying to tell me that you're going to be looking for the prison he's staying in, so you can send him a picture of his mugshot and get it autographed? Oh, this is no laughing matter. Oh, is inflation getting better or worse? It looks like it's staying the same. Every time I go and watch Fox, they're talking about the high gas prices and uh, Bidenomics and all the rest of that stuff. It's just I'm tired of it. $60 just to get a full tank of gas is insane. Oh damn! Did I finish that thing off? Still got a little bit in there, but it's mostly done. Inflation is as bad as it always was. Jeez, I really might just cancel that thing with the other person later today. Like, this is awful. I'm gonna do like one of the pastors and take this story and talk about how the young man was destroyed, and we need to get together and hold a protest. Man, people love to go on the live stream and ask the most personal stuff. It's crazy. Like, I remember I was streaming about a week or two ago, and I always use the term relatives because I thought it was understood. These are real life people who could get in trouble depending on what you say about them or not. Uh, and I had Jimmy was like, "Where are your parents? Why don't you live with them?" Like, what in the world? I don't know. People online feel like if they go on a stream, they're like entitled to know everything about you. It's crazy. What were you gonna get from the market? Where were you gonna go? Who are you gonna talk to? Who are you gonna call in 2 hours? Jesus Christ. I might not even go up there. I might just go back to the place and lay down. There's really nothing I need so urgent. Well, I guess maybe some water because they blow through those so fast. I wish YouTube would find a way to get rid of that stupid emoji section where, because for me, it's like showing a heart. So I keep thinking somebody like put that in the chat. No, this site gets on my nerves. Or I was doing this one stream and this person came over there and they were spamming the same emoji over and over, and I told them to stop. And because I thought at first it was one of those spam accounts, like little bot accounts that they make and they have go on streams to do little weird stuff. And then they started speaking normally and they started insulting me. So I said, all right, goodbye. You're out of here. Oh, damn it. Uh, click the wrong button. He was live action. I don't know what he was doing. It was weird. They said they were a woman. I don't believe it though. No, I don't know what's wrong with people on this site. They just do weird stuff like that. Like the guy that had the 7 accounts to downvote. Every time I would do a stream, they would go and downvote it to get the attention. Check. Why are there so many dislikes? Guys, ignore it. There actually is a bit more women on the internet nowadays. Now all the weird stuff on streams is usually from other men. And it's already been proven that they like to pretend they're chicks. They like to steal women's pictures and then make some like BS name and pretend to be a woman. I don't know what that's supposed to accomplish, but we've had at least 2 of them do that. So good luck trying to fool me after that. Power over what? They don't get me to concede anything. I don't care if they're trying to pretend to be a woman. When they come on there and start writing stupid stuff, they get treated the same way as if they were to present themselves as what they are. They don't get any more of my attention than anybody else. It's just funny. They act like I can't go on another site and easily find a chick to talk to like that. I mean, give me a break. Like, go on Twitter, make a Twitter account, find a TV show or a movie that was mostly about women from, let's say, the 90s, 2000s, and you'll see women talking about it on Twitter. It's not hard. No, there are a lot of women that are terminally online. They're posting every day, all day. No, they're not getting my attention. Oh, everybody would think just because of their gender, I'm supposed to bow down to them and be obsessed with trying to talk to them. Do you have an explanation as to why men have to entertain and appeal to women in order to get a relationship? Um, I mean, it really just comes down to women being treated like there's some kind of special saving grace, and never having by virtue of not being ballsy enough to ask out the men that they think are attractive. It means that men have to overcompensate by always initiating things with a woman, always asking them out. Just everything has to be started by men because women are too afraid as a collective to approach men that they claim to find attractive. That's why I said even when a woman says, "Oh, I like the way you," I don't even take it seriously because you could be someone that she thinks looks good, and you would still end up getting the same result as someone she thinks is ugly. No, it's simply one side having to overcompensate for the other. Because women never ask out men, including the ones that they claim they find attractive. Men have to overcompensate and do all this, BS just to even have a chance of getting with somebody. It's really sad. Glad that lady left. And her car blocking my view. So why do they complain when they reach 40 and are single? Because they don't. I mean, they're like most of these little romantic flings that they have are not built to last. They don't sit there on a date and ask a guy, do you want to get married? Do you want to have a family? What are long term things? Which is why a lot of times, as I said before, um, it's not shocking at all that so many of them, they have no problem getting men to be with them for some period of time, but actually staying with one of them is turning out to be a lot more difficult than you would think it is. Well, that's why a lot of their relationships end prematurely. That's part what drives me nuts. It's like, no, I've said before, it's not worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Well, it's just all the little stuff they want you to do just to try to get with one of them. Ask out X number of them and talk to this one for 5 or 6 months and always be funny, always make. I just get tired of it. You said your roommate's been taking a shower longer than Avengers Endgame. Well, if you popped in the movie, you could have had a fun, enjoyable experience while he was getting all wet up. I went to sleep, woke up, went back to sleep, and woke up again to see that my woman was trying to pursue other men. Oh my god. Yeah, some of them are like snakes, so I wouldn't be surprised if she did that. Do you know why women take 3 hours? Oh, I didn't know the roommate was a woman. Oh, okay. Well, no, some I have seen some of them that'll sit in the bathroom all day long. First they're doing their hair, then they're doing their nails, then they're trying to figure out which outfit to wear. Jesus. Well, I feel really bad for you that your roommate slash ex-wife is acting this way. I hope she takes. If she's not taking 3 hour showers anymore, at least she'll take 2 hours and 59 minute showers instead. That'll save you guys a lot of time. I've seen that firsthand where they'll sit in the bathroom from 9 in the morning all the way up until 11 or 12. I had a relative. They lived with me for about 6 or 7 months, and they were always doing that. But is that they'll go in the bathroom and they'll be in there for one thing, and then they'll like use that to go and do something else, or they'll go and call somebody and talk on the phone in there and have the whole thing echoing through the house. It was awful. Ugh. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna go off of here because I'm still very tired. I tried to go for the extended period. Um, what am I doing on Wednesday? I don't know. Maybe I'll stream on Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll definitely stream again on Saturday. So thanks for showing up and enjoy the rest of your day. I have one more thing I'm definitely gonna do, and then I am going and passing out as fast as I can. So that'll be my agenda. God.